You never know where it's going to go. You have no idea where that next door is going to open for you, but it's never going to open if you don't give it the opportunity. If you don't pick up the phone and say yes and go out and meet people, that potential big door that's could open is never going to open if you're not there to walk through it. I did this personally all along with sales. Every single time I got a project when I was young and didn't have a lot of clients, that GC ended up following him to 2 separate projects. He ended up giving my name to a client, and I ended up doing a gigantic wireless contract with a wireless supplier nationwide for about a year and a half. Hello, how's everybody doing? Oh, fun. We're getting close. The Labor Day weekend that comes up, everybody wants to get out of Dodge. It's a 3-day weekend. They want to, unwind, veg, just relax. And I'm going to say it's warranted. We're in our busy season right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of projects getting pushed through. Everybody wants their sign up way ahead of time, or definitely before all the holidays start to hit with Halloween and Thanksgiving. So this is the big push, in the sign industry. So for Labor Day weekend and 3-day weekend, shut it down at all costs. Please let them have the 3 days. It's worth it to your bottom line and worth it to the mental health of all your team. All right. This is an election year, right? Every election year, we have this flux in the economy. We don't know what's happening. We don't know if the economy is going to go up, if it's going to go down, if it's going to stay flat. When it's an election year, it's just a flux. That's all it is. I'm not saying we're going into a down economy. I'm not saying the economy is great. All I'm saying is there's always a flux during an election year. And when there's a flux, the sign companies usually get hit first. We felt the 08 recession, depression in 07. We always feel everything first. So some of our shops might be slowing down. Well, for me, when shops slow down, first off, I'm excited for half a second. And the reason why I'm excited is because I get to reorganize. All the cutoff in the corner, that can all get cleaned out. Designs queue can get cleaned up. Some of our side profiles for the cities, those can get cleaned up, get ready to copy and paste for the next projects. We can kind of reorganize and regroup. And so we're really ready to attack. So I love the downtimes where we can reorganize and dial it back in. Every time you're busy, you kind of cut a corner, you leave a razor blade sitting here, you leave a, strap of metal over here. Like it always something is just, off on your company and you need time to regroup. That's normal. No flogging involved here. This is not yelling you for that. That's just normal. It's called life. But once the organization's down, now the fear comes in for owners. Where's the next project coming from? Where's the payroll going to be met? What's happening here? And with that being said, here are some options that I have found to work really well. So for you guys that are listening, get your sales team involved, have the sales team listen to this because here's our secrets. And if you're running Square Coil, it's really simple. Go to contacts, go to new, and pick their title or department. Forgive me, I don't remember which one. And the first 5 is going to be what I'm giving you here. There's an Easter egg built inside of Square Coil. It's going to say contractor, architect, client, landlord, designer. Those are our new friends, right? So for me, cold calling sucks. Let's not lie. Nothing's worse than cold calling. I mean, heck, we get our calls, 3 to 4 phone calls a day I get. They're all cold calls. I don't want nothing to do with them. Usually it's a 5-night stay in the Bahamas or whatnot, something jokey that we're never going to use. But cold calling is not fun. But there is something called warm calls. Warm calls are when the clients know us or they know of our name, they know kind of around what we do, and then we can say, hey, we offer these services for you if you need it. Now, what's a warm call? How about all of your old projects? For every project you have, let's say it's an exterior set of letters and you had to get a permit. For every one of those exterior customers, we have the client. Nothing wrong with calling the client back, asking how the sign's doing, asking if they got other projects. That's a perfect warm call lead. Number 2, we had to talk to that landlord, right? Let's call that landlord. Do they have any more projects? Do they need any fixes with the ADA or the bathrooms? What can happen there? Now there's an architect that drew up the plans for the TI. Let's call out architects. Say, hey, we were the signage company on site. We're the ones who built the signage, had your design come to reality. Do you have any other projects we could bid on or work with you? Any problems with the architecture of the building that we might be able to provide solutions for? How can we help you, Mr. Architect, Mrs. Architect? All right. GC, the guys had to build it, right? They need ADA signs. They need restroom signs. They need all those little signs to pass their final and get sign off. Let's go talk to that contractor of that building. Say, hey, we're already on site. We built these signs. We also offer these services. How can we help? Then you have one that's designers, for the most part. I mean, let's not lie, they're a little skittish. Designers are a little here, a little there, a little skittish. You got to approach very gently. I laugh. It's like we're approaching a cat. They're going to hiss, they're going to purr, they're going to run away. You can't really know with designers. But when I found my secret for success is I call the designer and say, hey, how well did I have your design become a reality in that sign package that we did with you? We did XYZ sign. And how did that come out? And they go, oh, you did really good. Or, oh, we missed the mark here. I was really looking for pastel color. I'm going to say, okay, pastels are awesome, but they look faded inside of a year. And I don't want my customers, potential clientele thinking that they have a faded sign. They don't work well. And I'm going to walk them through the steps that we did. And I'm going to say, what other designs are you creating right now that I can turn into reality so we encompass your vision? Pretty good talk track, right? I'm on their team. I'm trying to make their idea into reality. I'm working with them. I'm on their team. These are great talk tracks to have, and these are warm leads. These are warm calls to make to these people. Now, if you have a sales team that does not like to call and talk about money, you need to fix them or get rid of them. Very honest with you. Small segue here. Want to talk to you guys about Square Coil software and what it does for your companies. If you're the type of guy that's still doing pen and paper and you think you're rocking and rolling, you just might be, but you're not running at the most efficient pace possible for yourself. Imagine doing a report. You want to know how many sales each salesperson did for the entire year. So you sit down, you get all your books out, and it takes you 2-3 hours to build this Excel spreadsheet, and you got your answer. But what if you could just click a button? And then your 2 or 3 hours are back in your hands, and you can evoke change inside of your company for those 2-3 hours versus building a report. That's what Square Coil software does for you. That's what we bring to the table in the way of efficiency. So check us out if you're not using us. Do you have a relationship via email with your significant other? Do you email them and say, dinner was nice tonight? Do you email them good night? Of course you don't. You talk to them. You have a conversation. You verbally talk to them one-on-one so they get inflection in your voice and the passion and how much you love the other person. Relationships and signage is the same way. An email will not suffice. They need to pick up the phone and call these people and have a conversation with them. Email, in my way, is the pansy way out. That means you really don't know how to do your job and you're scared. So you send them an email and go, oh, I made contact. They didn't call me back. Of course not. An email is really easy to delete. But if you get them on the phone and talk to them, it's going to be a lot better. I'm a huge fan of phone-to-phone conversations, one-on-one conversations. That's what's going to make it the life easier. That's what they're going to endear myself to you. I mean, for example, for me, I have realtors call trying to sell my house all the time. But the realtor call says, hey, how do you like your house? Is it time to upgrade? Okay, no, it's not time to upgrade for me, but that's really cool. You asked that. You're thinking in my thought process. I had so many realtors call up and say, I want to sell your house. You ready to sell? You're not on my team. You're just looking for a check. Go away. But how you present them where you're on the team of them, what they're trying to accomplish, now you have something. So if you guys were the shine shops that are slowing down a little bit, there's a great Easter egg inside of Square Coil. You can follow that. But at the same time, you can just, listen to my podcast here, write them down the 5. I'm sure there's other avenues past what I just said and start calling those people, getting the warm leads, having the conversation with them. That's going to have them know about you and see what happens. I had a great example of this. I did this personally all along with sales. Every single time I got a project when I was young and didn't have a lot of clients, I would go out to the job site and walk it and just hand out my business cards. Hey, you're the GC. Here you go. I'm doing the signage for this location. If you need anything, I'm already on site. I can give you a great deal. Let me know what's going on. GC said, nope, I don't do favors. I don't work with the client sign people. I said, no problem. Here's my business card. If you get in a pinch, I'm willing to help you out. Don't worry. I'll look the other way and pretend you didn't do it, but it's fine. I'll help you out. That GC ended up following him to 2 separate projects. He ended up giving my name to a client, and I ended up doing a gigantic wireless contract with a wireless supplier nationwide for about 1.5 years, just off that GC offering him restroom signs. You never know where it's going to go. you have no idea where that next door is going to open for you. But it's never going to open if you don't give it the opportunity. If you don't pick up the phone and say yes and go out and meet people, that potential big door that's going to open is never going to open if you're not there to walk through it. So pick up the phone, work on those warm leads. That's how you're going to grow your portfolio really, really quickly. That's how I did it. And good luck to you guys. I'll talk to you next week.